Hello lovely people, it's Candy here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to show you some of the things that I bought on my recent trip to Glastonbury. Now if you watch my recent video you will know that I had 24 hours in Glastonbury. I drove up with a friend on the Saturday morning and we stayed Saturday and we came back Sunday lunchtime. So we had a lovely 24 hours in Glastonbury. Some of that time was spent in the shops because when you go to Glastonbury the shops are just so magical. So I thought I would share with you the purchases that I treated myself to on my first trip away since March 2020. It's the first time I've been away anywhere that isn't local since the very start of this crazy time that we've been in. So I'm going to share what I bought. First of all, you can't go to Glastonbury without looking at crystals. Every other shop is a crystal shop. So the first crystal I'm going to show you is the palm stone that I bought. It's a black onyx, which is one of my favourite crystals. It's a black palm stone and it has a slight dent in the end there, but I loved it because it just reminded me that we don't have to be completely perfect, and it just feels so lovely in my hand. From the same shop as well, I bought a couple of moonstones. I bought this one in the shape of a heart and also one in the shape of a cube. Again, I just loved the energy and the feel of those in my hand. And then I bought an amethyst. So I just loved the colouring on that. That was one of the first shops we went into. Also in the same shop, they had some beautiful greeting cards, which I bought to go on altars or possibly on the wall as well. They are by Wendy Andrew, who she's got the 2 oracle decks out, hasn't she? Is it Goddess Love and something else? But I know her oracle decks are lovely. But I bought this one because it had the white horse. This is called Loving and Dreaming. Just loved it. This one is called Bringing the Imulk Fire. So that's a Bridget and a swan painting, which I just love. And then of course one for the Morrigan, which is called Deep Reflection. So one with crows in as well. So I've got the crows and the swan and the white horse. In a different shop I saw a card which is just perfect for my friend that I went with, Cheryl, who's a natural redhead, and it just sums her up. You are vibrant. She's a most sparkly friend. So I bought that for her. She saw it, she loved it. I'm going to write in it and then she's going to get it through the post. And then this was another big card, a larger size one, which I just thought was amazing. It got crone energy, mother energy in it, Gaia energy, the Morrigan energy. It got a crow in it as well. I just thought it had a really amazing feel to it. And it's this one. If I get it out of the plastic wrapper, you'll be able to see it better. I just really loved it. So that was from Goddess Temple Gifts in the courtyard in Glastonbury. And I know that because they gave me a little card as well. So I spent a little bit of money then on cards for my altars and things like that. So I loved those. Then I spent a bit of time in the charity shops because I've said before on this channel, the type of shopping I love doing is just charity shops. If I hadn't have been in Glastonbury, I normally don't go in any normal shops. I only ever just go to charity shops just because I love it. Glastonbury is different, of course, because you've got all those amazing shops. So that was different. But I still couldn't resist the charity shops in Glastonbury. I was just really curious to see what sort of things they would have in there and what sort of prices they would be. And they were incredibly cheap. I was amazed. So I bought a load of clothes because clothes is my favourite thing to spend money on. I do have a justification at the moment for clothes. I've said on the channel before, I've put on a ton of weight, which is okay because the weight had a job to do. It was necessary at the time. It was my way of keeping myself safe. I am coming out of that phase now. I know I don't need it anymore. So I'm not berating myself, but the natural consequence of that is a lot of my wardrobe doesn't fit. So I'm struggling with just the odd one or two things that fit. Even though I have a huge wardrobe upstairs, nothing fits. So I went into the charity shop and I bought some clothes. Now this, you can't really see it, this linen baggy top, which would fit me any size, I think, and it's super cool. I got this and it was only a couple of pounds. So that I bought, I've washed, and I've literally been wearing it ever since. And basically it's a linen top that will pair with absolutely anything. So I got a really simple blue linen-y feel skirt as well. It looked a bit like a denim skirt. It isn't denim, but I just thought that would be just really useful at the moment. You can wear it with anything, and it does look quite nice with the grey top. And then to go over the top of this, sometimes I wear my shirts. I've got a lot of shirts upstairs that won't do up, so I'm wearing them as jackets. They might not button up all the way around at the minute, because my body has always been a changing landscape from mountainous ranges to flat plains. My body has been all things on repeat. So sometimes my shirts are done up, sometimes they're in a cupboard because I can't even get my arms into them. Other times they won't do up, but I wear them as jackets. And look at this beautiful green shirt I got. It has the most amazing moped print all over it, which I loved. It's got a little pocket at the front, which is always wonderful, and I just loved the print. Now I've worn a lot of black over the last few years, with the weight going up and up and up, and me feeling a bit ashamed about that. I've tried to hide myself away with black, but I'm just fed up of doing that now, and I just don't want to do it anymore. I want to be a bit more self-loving and embrace my love of fashion, even 4 sizes bigger than I normally am. So what the hell, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not hiding away, not wearing colour. So with that in mind, I spotted a bright yellow sunshiny top which has a little tie at the front. I always love tops with little ties that you can fiddle with and play with. I think that's really flirty. It's got lovely little cap sleeves and I loved it. So I bought a yellow top, which again pairs nice with the blue skirt I bought, but I also got another skirt for 50p. This is how cheap these clothes were. And I just thought, oh yes, now that is going to go nice with the yellow top. It's a really cute, it's an old-fashioned, just a cute little elasticated waist skirt that will fit any size. It will be nice and comfy. It's just sunny, cute and summery, and I loved it. Then I spotted, with the yellow theme in mind, another shirt. I spotted the print at first. I saw the print and I thought, oh, what's that? When I pulled it out, I saw the label. It's a Zara women top, but the sleeves on it, look at the sleeves. I don't know if any of you were around in the 80s, but if you remember the puffball skirts, this is a sleeve done like a puffball skirt. It's like a tiered puffball, and I loved it. It's actually a shirt. It's too small for me at the minute, even really too small to wear as an open shirt. But I could not leave a shirt in the shops. Shirt in the shops, that's hard to say. A shirt in the shops with that sleeve for just a couple of pounds. And again, another print that got me that I couldn't leave in the shops was this skirt. And it's kind of got like a sort of big pleat at the front where it goes from this print into a stripy print, and I loved that. So I got that one as well. And then the shape of this skirt and the colour caught my eye. It's a longer skirt. It's got a really nice shape. Again, it's elasticated. It will grow with me or shrink with me. And I just loved it. And surprisingly, I like it paired with the yellow. Then finally, another sunny skirt that the print made me smile. It's really, really comfortable to wear. Again, I'll wear it with the yellow. Is this skirt, another long skirt. Nice, cool cotton jersey fabric. Just really lovely for a couple of pounds. Now, 2 dresses I bought. Well, they're kind of like apron dresses, really, that I bought. But having put them on, I don't like the style of them on me. But I love the fabric. So I've bought this really for the fabric, because you don't see fabric like this anymore. So the fabric to try and make something new with them. So they're the old-fashioned pinafore dresses that my nan used to wear with the pockets in. So there's this is a dress, but the fabric is just fantastic. There's a lot of it. And then there was a wraparound dress, which I was hoping would work as a dress, but it's too big, unbelievably. So it, again, I am going to use the fabric. I might use the 2 fabrics together and try and make a bigger skirt with it, because I just think the fabric is wonderful. So that's what I got out of the charity shops. Then in a little shop right by the square, we met the most lovely lady that owns the shop. We got talking to her. I'm now following her on Instagram, so I'll link her Instagram down below. But she had the most amazing shop. And we were trying to talk her into starting a YouTube channel, so I hope she sees this, and I hope that she does. But in there, I bought some presents for people, which I'm not going to show. But I also bought this. Isn't it beautiful? And it says that you're even more magical than a unicorn. You sparkle wherever you go. And I bought this to hang on my tarot deck cupboard handle, just to remind me to sparkle. And then the last shop that I made purchases in on the first day was up on the somewhere higher up the high street. We'd stopped for lunch, and the waitress who was serving us just smelled lovely. Every time she walked past me, I got this waft of this just amazing smell. And I said to my friend, I think I might ask her what perfume she's wearing. I think that's gorgeous, because I've been completely out of perfume for about a year, because I only like a really expensive perfume, one perfume ever in my whole life. That's all I've ever worn. And I just couldn't afford to buy another bottle. So I've been perfumeless for a long time. My friend Cheryl just said, well, that's patchouli you can smell. She's wearing patchouli. So I went on a mission then to find some patchouli oil, and I bought a bottle of it. It's one of these old-fashioned roll-on ones, which I can remember having as a kid, and I love it. So I'm smelling a patchouli at the moment, and I really love it. Now, in the same shop, when I walked in, immediately on the left, there were rows of crystals. And I've never had this happen before with a crystal, but I was looking through all the cabinets, and one crystal in there just sang out to me. And I walked around the shop and I tried to leave it, and it kept calling me. And in the end, I just had to get the woman to open up the cabinet. And I said, I've never had a crystal demand to be bought and to call at me so loudly. And it's this beautiful amethyst. Now, amethyst is one of my favourites, but I just think this one was so special and so spectacular. Look at that, it's just gorgeous. So that was a real treat to spend, and I love it. And then something a lot more humble but equally precious to me. On that first evening, we walked up the footpath trail, going round the back of the tour, so that we could see the tour from the back, and we could sit on the hillside to watch the sunset. And that black cat walked out and crossed our path from left to right, which is a good omen, and it sat with us while we watched the sun go down, and it just felt really magical. It felt like a renewing energy. So as I was sitting watching the sunset, I was kind of sat on the floor playing with the ground, and on the path there was a stone that just fell under my hand, and I picked that up and brought that home because that felt like it had magic in. So that's a stone off the path when we were watching the sunset. The next day we went to the Chalice Gardens, so we were away from the shops. Now, I'd said previously in my depth year update that I had bought this Mother Mary Oracle, and I had opened it before I went to Glastonbury, and I had been floored by how much I love it and how much energy I can feel coming off it. Now, when I was walking the Chalice Gardens and doing the walking paths through the water, and I said, like, I cried, and I just felt like a really deep healing happening. It was just a really intense experience in those gardens, and I kind of felt Mary energy then. I felt a real divine feminine energy within those gardens, and a kind of divine motherly nurturing healing energy as well, which has put me in a totally new space having come back from Glastonbury, hence the fact that you've seen me doing a fashion show for you. If I'd have said last week even that I would have done that and let anybody see like my body, it would have been a no. But that healing energy of the water was just so intense. So I'd kind of walked the gardens feeling emotionally connected to this deck and that kind of divine mother energy. And then on the exit out, we walked into the shop. And as we walked into the shop doorway, I kind of thought to myself, I really want something that sums up that kind of divine feminine being in the water energy, or that Mother Mary energy that I felt in the gardens. And as I walked in, there was a huge display, first thing I saw, of this deck with the journals. So I'd already got the deck, but I saw these journals, and I'd been wanting a journal to kind of record this self-love development path that I'm on. So I'd been looking for a journal, and this one just seemed perfect. You've got images from the deck throughout it. The quality of the paper in here is absolutely stunning. I just think it's absolutely beautiful. So there is a little bit of writing and text in here, but mostly it's blank pages with the odd quote here or there. It's all linked to the Mother Mary deck. It was a no-brainer as soon as I saw it. I don't quite know what the energy feeling was specifically, but I kind of know that it had some link to Mary. I think it's all synchronicity. The fact that there was a big display as we walked in, synchronicities everywhere, and I tend not to ignore synchronicities because I think they're gifts from the universe. Can you tell how hot it is? It is nearly midnight here, and it is still like 26 degrees, 27 degrees. It is boiling still. And then in the Chalice Gardens, I also bought a couple of these bottles to collect the water in. You don't need to buy these bottles, but I've never been before, and I just really wanted to get one of these bottles with the Chalice Well cover on, and it says the Chalice Well on there as well. So yeah, so that was lovely. These are lovely to have. And then next to the Mother Mary journals and that amazing synchronicity, there was this deck, and on the back there was a woman in the waters, and I couldn't believe it. I just knew it was the deck that I needed to buy. You've got the tour up there. It's by Cheryl Yambrack Rose, who has some other oracle decks. She's got another one out at the minute, which I can't remember. This is one of her older decks, and I didn't realise when I bought it for less than £20 that it's actually out of print. And it's going for £50–60 everywhere else, but I didn't realise that when I bought it. She is local to Glastonbury, and the woman behind the desk was telling me all about her, saying, oh, she's a local artist and we get her decks in there all the time. So I think that's probably why they had a display of them. I love it. It's amazing, the backs on them. The backs are exactly what I wanted to take that experience away with me, that sort of feeling of being in the water and healing. It is called the Art Through the Starstream Oracle. It is a mad hodgepodge of sort of King Arthur and mythology and Mary energy again, Mary Magdalene as well. There's all sorts of strange things going on in here. There's Green Man energy. So it is quite a strange channeled art deck. You know, there are sort of Christian-y type images. There are sort of starseed and alien type images. There's all sorts going on. There's mythology used from other parts of the world as well. And I've talked to my friend who has her latest deck, and she said it's kind of very similar. It also has all sorts of things going on in there. You know, some of these images are really odd. Look, you've got the spaceship in the background. But the book is actually really good. Some of these, they are odd, some of the images, but the book is beautiful to use. I've pulled a couple of cards just as I've been flicking through to read the guidebook with. Yeah, and it does make more sense with the guidebook, and I love it. It's just it's a mishmash of all the energies that I was feeling in the garden in one deck. So I will be working with this, and then I'll do a walkthrough of it. But yeah, it's just made me really interested in her artwork. She said that she starts with the eyes because she feels once she's painted the eyes, then she feels like she knows the person she's connecting with, and then they channel their story and their sacred space to her. And I loved that. I love that idea. Channeled artwork I love. So yeah, this deck, Art Through the Starstream Oracle, was my last purchase in Glastonbury. So that's it, guys. That's my charity shop haul, my crystal shop haul, my Chalice garden haul, and my out in nature haul of the joys of Glastonbury. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.